Okay, hi everyone. Let me see if I can say this properly without making any errors or omissions. This is about the random acts of goodness and kindness that I read in many books, in those self-help books that I had bought, and it's in my religion too. So this gave me a great idea by reading these self-help books by foreign authors too. So these books helped me. I don't remember all the names of the books, which ones they mentioned this, and so I'm sorry about this. However, in college, what happened is after my second year exams, I was waiting for to get into third year, and when I went to the principal's house, she told me that I could work with her in college, stay with her in college, and work there for first year admissions. And she kept me as an in charge there for a period of time. She told me when this admission period would end, and she told me what to do. She designated my my work, my task over there. Yet she did have the second year, my junior students, St. Joseph's College students, to work there too with the admissions. And she was the one who designated me to do certain things, what I should do there. And that is what I was doing. And I had this book where I was, getting what the teachers wanted for refreshments during the time of work for first year admissions. So this is all I was doing. And I was designated by the principal to do this work. And then all of a sudden, the middle of it or during the end of it, the other girls who were also chosen and designated to work there for first year admissions with me came to me. The head of that group came to me with another of her friend, a closer friend, and she started to blame me for doing all the work there and not allowing them to do this waitress kind of work that I was doing. With the book, on every teacher's name, next to every teacher's name, what they would like to eat, the eatables and the drinkables and all that. And so this girl started to blame me that I was taking the limelight, most of the work, and I wasn't allowing them to work there. And I was in a state of shock, because she came in the common room where we had the admissions, where the teachers, a group of teachers would sit and would take up the admission thing. So she came right in there and she started to cry. And she started to make, this crying face, and she was literally in tears, blaming me. That looked like I was the tyrant who had taken her work. It was so embarrassing for me in front of the teachers in that common room. My goodness. And so, I asked a friend to get a cold drink for her, and I asked her to calm down. This was not such a big deal to cry about. I was not taking her work. And I just couldn't say it, but I realized that it was later on, I realized the principal had designated me with the work that I was doing. And I was not taking up her work or her group's work, but they seemed to all agree with this head in charge, with her, that I was taking up their work. And she even threatened to complain about me to the principal about this. So I told her if she wants, she can go and she can complain to the principal, but I reminded her that she would be troubling the principal for no reason or rhyme, that this was not important, and that I was really not taking up her work. I was actually given this work by the principal to do. So I remember, when she was telling me I'm doing this work of refreshments and she wanted to be a part of it, I told her that it would not work like this because too many cooks spoil the broth. And this is this quote that our teacher there gave to this girl. And she agreed to me that too many cooks would spoil this broth. And when I had begun this work designated by the principal, I had made a pact with Mr. Velos. Thanks to Mr. Velos, I could trust him with my eyes closed. He was such a great person. He was in charge of the canteens in St. Joseph's College and most likely in St. Joseph's Convent School too. He was the head. He was the owner actually of the canteens. So the one canteen that we had in our college, Mr. Velos at that time was there. So I asked him if he could, do this, take money from me for the refreshments, not only mine, but for the teachers, that I was paying him once in a while, every other day or something like this. I don't really remember. And so every week the account that he would give to the college staff or the principal, they would not know that how much I have paid into giving the money for the refreshments for the teachers. And how grateful I am to Mr. Velos, I cannot say. But these girls, second year, made in charge by the principal to also do the first year admissions work along with me. So they made it very difficult for me. They embarrassed me in front of the teachers. They wrongfully blamed me for something I really wasn't doing. I had not taken up their work, and I was doing what the principal had asked me to do. And then I thought that, it was told to me before I had, or just as I had started this work, that this would end at a certain date. That date came, and I just left, and then I was to come back to attend my third year classes, to get into third year BA. So I didn't tell the principal that I was leaving, and that if there's anything else I could do, or if there are extra days added to this, that I could work further. And so I didn't, because these girls had really disgusted me. And so I allowed them to take the upper hand. And later on, because they wanted to do the work, so they could go on doing the work if there were extra days that were added to the first year admission work that we were supposed to do and complete and help out. So then later on, I found out through someone that actually the principal wanted me to carry on with this work further on for other, extra days, but that I hadn't even gone to her, and I just left without telling her even. So she didn't like that, and I'm glad that she didn't like it, because that's how I wanted it to be. I wanted her to like those girls who were in charge of the other things and at the first year admissions, and not me, not like me. Because any good we do to our fellow human beings or anyone, we do it for our own good. We feel good about it, and if we feel good about it, it is for our own good, the feeling of pleasure, goodness. We don't do it to show off or get our numbers high, like try to flatter the principal or anyone else, or our boss, or if we're working somewhere. So we don't try to flatter anyone. We're just doing this so that we're helping ourselves in the long run. And even for the moment when we do this, actually we are doing it for ourselves, not for anyone else. And only the intelligent people would understand, who have in-depth insight into helping oneself, that if we help our fellow human beings, we're actually helping ourselves.